All right, some of the recent picks, including, of course, Foreman out of Hofstra. You think about the pick, Shayok at 50, and hello, Kyle Guy.
Final Four MVP.
A big-time shooter. And Jalen Hands at 56, good player as well. For a guy like Guy, Andy Katz, who most people watching even at this late point certainly know because they saw it throughout the tournament. We know he can shoot. Does he have to be in an offense where he's kind of just hanging in the corner? What else can he bring to the table NBA level?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's going to need a point guard that's going to really set him up because it's going to be hard for him to get his own shot at the NBA level. That's something he's going to have to work on. Of the Virginia guys that declared, he was the one that I think was sort of the biggest question mark whether or not he should declare. Was he ready physically for it yet? But look, he's very confident in himself, which is great. I wish him the best of luck, but I think he needs to be with a quality point guard that can help set him up.
Yeah, guy like Guy, he's not going to probably get his own shot at the next level. It's going to all come down to the point guard or the offense. Sometimes a coach can scheme you open, put you in the right spot as far as, let's just say you have R.J. Barrett driving very hard to his left, and all of a sudden you say, hey, I'm going to put you in the strong side corner so when teams leave you, you get a shot. So there's certain things your coach can do to help scheme you open, and then at the same time, it does help if you have a good point guard that can get you open as well.
I noticed you didn't use Frank Ntilikina, but instead you used R.J. Barrett. I don't know why you would make that choice. By the way, the Knicks put out there today that Ntilikina is available, and we don't have a trade. We have seen a lot of picks traded. As we get down to the final picks, let's get kind of what's the number one takeaway for you from this draft, Tom? Player, story, otherwise, heading into now the next few days, counting down to free agency.
I think Atlanta, what they did today was impressive and important, especially if they got it right, because they went for two guys, two of their top two choices. They trade up to get one at 4 and another at 10, and those two talents could be the running mates with Trae Young, which makes them more and more interesting going forward. So, plus their second-round picks. So, I mean, 3 solid picks from the Hawks.
Again, now DeAndre Hunter, Reddish, Fernando, Herter, Collins, Trae Young, quite a group, B. Wood. What stands out from the draft for you?
I agree with Tom, and it has to be Atlanta. And we don't get to talk positively
this
about,
has never happened before,
Atlanta as far as drafting situation goes, but they did an excellent job this year, really knocked out the box. I think the future is bright for this team and this organization moving forward.
I'm going 2 if I can.
Carson Edwards, and what's the other one?
Well, Boston getting Grant Williams and Carson Edwards.
Yeah.
Great character. I think they can help them right away, and we'll see about Langford and obviously Waters. But my big surprise, the Clippers. The Clippers getting Fondu Kabengele. I mean, getting him at 27. He's a player that could have gone into the lottery. I think he can help them right away. They're obviously a team that potentially could go deep in the playoffs. I think he's a steal, could end up being the steal at 27.
Also took Terrence Mann in the second round, his teammate at Florida State.
Yeah, I'm with the Atlanta Hawks, but I will say San Antonio Spurs getting Keldon Johnson and Witherspoon. Those are 2 big-time pickups. They did a nice job in the draft as well.
You know, I think you hate to, from a question side, speaking of things we're used to saying, the Phoenix one for me has to stand out as one of the biggest questions for this reason. Their need is a point guard. We understand that. If they fail in free agency, to your point, Smitty, before, and Tom, to get what they feel might be out there, whether it's Russell or whomever, right? Then it's going to look worse that they traded out of a spot they could have had a Garland or a Kobe White down and took Cam Johnson, who we know is a terrific shooter, but didn't seem to be an 11 pick. That's an interesting couple of moves for Phoenix.
They made very conservative choices, culture choices too. You could sort of hear Monty Williams' voice in a lot of that in terms of saying, I want to get a foundation of young players that are going to play the right way and be coachable. And what they sacrifice is all that upside that you would get otherwise.
Yeah, as far as now moving forward, the next few days, we know some things will look, Al Horford thing's already been a surprise. So how many are we going to be shocked if KD and Klay don't go back to Golden State? Is that a foregone conclusion in your mind that we know they want them, and it would seem like who wouldn't want to stay there? But is there any concern from anyone on the panel that KD would actually leave and go elsewhere?
I mean, KD is a possibility. I think Klay, and we can't speak for those guys.
Sure,
I
of course
think Klay
not. Of course not.
Will remain the Golden State Warriors. Possibility not Kevin Durant. Could be going elsewhere. But I think they both stay in Golden State.
Kawhi, everybody thinks what? I know Tom has him leaving Toronto.
He's got him going.
Yeah, Tom has him going to a good team instead.
Tom already has Kawhi's bags packed. I think it's 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
I think next couple of days that Kawhi and his camp are going to come together and make the decision, hey, Are we going to stay in Toronto and keep doing it for the whole country of Canada, or are we going to take our talents to L.A.?
No, I think it's more than
Lakers?
that. I think it's more than 50-50. I think he stays because he won a championship.
You think
I say he stays.
I think he stays in Toronto.
I don't have inside information, but I say
But
he
hey,
stays.
Tom says no.
L.A. Clippers, baby.
I've
Tom
heard,
says it's
like I said,
done.
I've heard it's 50-50.
Done.
Kawhi, take your time, make your decision. You've earned this right.
You know, the interesting thing is coast to coast.
Yeah, take your time, Kawhi.
Well, two of the big stories are the battle in L.A., right, in the same building. Because if Kawhi goes to the Clippers, you look at what they have, and I think an Al Horford would fit unbelievable fit there for Doc and what he does, and leave Harold to that exceptional spot he's got as the sixth guy. That's a possibility. Do you think the Clippers can be better? The assumption is, the Lakers now have AD, so they're preparing the championship with the Warriors out. Can the Clippers, if they get Kawhi, be the better team, better option?
No question. If the Clippers get Kawhi, and they also have enough money to bring in another big-time player with him, if they make sure they bring in the right guy with Kawhi, I think they become the best team in L.A. because they'll already have better role players. When you talk about Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, guys like that come off the bench.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai Gilgeous, Landry Shamet. They have better role players. The Lakers are trying to figure out who those guys are. The Clippers already have those guys, and they got a chance to play with each other last year. You add in Kawhi and maybe another big-time star, I think you'd have something special. I don't think LeBron and AD would be the best team in their own building.
Now, I know if Al Horford leaves, just for me, best fit for me is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Can they afford him, though?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I just think best fit.
Right.
Move some people, maybe
Then
Tom.
they become the favorite.
Then they become your favorite.
Well, I like Horford with the Clippers
You like Horford with the Clippers?
and Kawhi.
It's a nice fit,
What about if Horford goes
and they
to
have the money.
What about if he goes to Milwaukee? Then I know you have them over Toronto,
they
right?
won't have the room.
Yeah,
they,
but
they don't have any
Hey,
cap.
Al
But
could go.
just for the record, you have Milwaukee over Toronto even if Kawhi stays.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Katie,
Hey, you did watch the playoffs this year. I did. Hey, I'm just saying. They had Giannis looking like Ben Simmons with the Euro step.
what my favorite thing? What impressed you about Toronto? Oh, the chip. In here in New York, because we're sitting here in Brooklyn, the idea of Kyrie seems to be a thing. My question is, Tom, forget the culture even for a second and the fit seeming a little bit odd. Even if they get Kyrie and they bring back what they had, and then Russell goes elsewhere, KD's not coming to the Nets. So if Chris Middleton or somebody else were to shun whoever is that really enough in the East to even make them a factor? Does it make sense? Can the Nets win big this offseason somehow?
I think they got to get two good players. I mean, they got to get Kyrie and somebody else. And then it's not a guarantee. You see how it works out, and you make these massive financial commitments. It's sort of like what Houston did. Massive two super, not super max, but full max players. And if it doesn't work, then you're like, whoa, what do we do now?
If he ends up in Philly, it doesn't fit. But let's say Jimmy gets maxed and they can't or decide not to with Tobias. He's from about a half an hour from here. And to me, unlike the Kyries, he is the perfect fit for Kenny. They need more size at the forward position, can shoot the basketball, does all those grind 50-50 little things. He'd be coming home. He'd be an interesting player for me to look at, Tobias Harris with Brooklyn.
I just love Tobias Harris, just the way he plays. I thought it was a great fit in Philadelphia. It still can maybe, but I think Tobias' game set and his personality, his character, he'll be a good fit for a lot of teams. I see Kyrie going to the Lakers, though.
You do? You still think?
I see Kyrie going to the Lakers.
I can see that.
Okay.
Kyrie on the way.
Kyrie on the way. Yeah, baby.
And the Knicks are going to have who?
R.J. Barrett.
Julius
RJ
Randle and a max deal? I mean, who are the Knicks going to get? Anyone? Bueller? Great.
Next year.
Are we 2 rounds full? Is this the last pick?
It's the last pick.
The last pick. We are thanking everybody that joins us. The Sacramento Kings get the final pick. Does anybody have any good Mr. I hate using Mr. Irrelevant.
Isaiah Thomas was in this range.
Isaiah Thomas, yes. He was in there as well.
By the Kings, right?
Okay, go ahead, Andy. Close it out with that pronunciation.
No thanks.
I have it now. I'm going to go get the sheet because nobody brought it to me, so I'm just going to literally get out of this. You guys talk because I have a list somewhere in here, and I will find it myself, and nobody's going to bring it to me. I got to find somewhere. I got a list of all the people that have worked on this show that they wanted me to credit that I don't. I just thank everybody, but I don't know.
Thank everybody. Start
I
naming
just
them.
thank everybody.
A lot of people have been working a lot of hours.
Want to
yes.
wish the best to Colleen Sullivan, who's been with us for a long, long time. I know that she is moving on from the company. I think today is her last day. Thanks to Bridget and Nicole and their group who put this together. Of course, John O'Connor, and you think about Scooter, Burt Bondi, who between October and this show is sick of me for the rest of the year, so he deals with Jared on 10 Before Tip instead. All of our great crew. Justin Kimbrell, our researcher, everyone here, even you, Brendan Hayward.
Eric Jackson, you got to thank
Jared Jackson Jr., yep.
No, Eric Jackson.
Oh, I thought you were thanking Jared Jackson. I think keep it in the family.
Coaches that came by.
Coaches, Coach Cal.
Yes.
Who else was here?
Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett was here. Anyone
They
else?
played for a national championship.
Anyone else?
I think that was
We
it.
traded Tom Penn
we had
for Coach Cal.
Coach from Texas Tech.
Coach from Texas. That's Chris Beard was
I
here.
didn't hear Beard.
Chris Beard was here.
It's getting late.
All right, it's going to be Smitty versus Stern versus Katz. The bathroom's about half a mile down that way. In the meantime, best of luck, most importantly, to all of you who were drafted. Dreams do come true. Keep pushing. Don't settle to be good. Be great. We hope you'll all be great between now and free agent fever. It begins on the 30th. Till then, we'll be napping. From all of us to all of you, good night, everybody.